with Annie, and she's going to tell us all about the very cool stuff that she does. So can you tell us who you are and what it is you do?
Yes, so I am Anne Levitt, and I have the biggest thing I've just accomplished, besides being a mother and a wife and having this farm, and I wrote and illustrated and had a children's story published about life on our little farm here.
Very cool.
So,
And this is your first book that you've had published?
this is the first book, yes.
What inspired you to start writing?
So I have to say that my father read to my siblings and to me all throughout our childhood. And he used all these crazy voices. And so there was a bit of time, I remember just running off the school bus, and I just couldn't wait to have that time with him, to read to us. So that's where I think I developed my love of having someone read to me and me being able to read to kids. And when I taught, I loved reading to my class, but the very, very best moments of my life have always been just reading a children's story to my own children or to other kids. And I think about this, and I just want to have other people think about this. When you're reading a children's story to a child, that is the best version of yourself. You can never, I mean, children's stories are not mean, except maybe like fairy tales, but you're teaching kids, you're spending quality time with kids, you're introducing them maybe to arts, and you're introducing them to literature. And so I guess for me, children's books always bring out the very best version. So that's why I love it. Right?
So how do you come up with the illustrations for your books?
So I'm kind of I wouldn't say daydreamer, but I do have a pretty vivid imagination, and obviously this is my first book. I have 2 more in the works. And so when I'm thinking about an illustration, I'm really thinking about what I want the reader and the audience to feel. So I think the illustrations pull your audience in, and it takes a moment for anyone who's looking at it to just pause and be in the moment and then really think about the words and the story. So that's what I try to do. I do a lot of sketches, and I just kind of have an idea in my head, and then I just take it from there.
Do you write the text and then make the pictures to go with it, or do you do the pictures first?
I write the text and then make the pictures go with it. However, the third book that I'm working on is for pre-readers, and that's just going to be very minimal text and then all watercolors and illustrations, so that the children who are reading it can follow it through and make their own stories and bring in their own creativity.
Nice. But can you tell us a little bit about how you actually make the illustrations?
Again, I just kind of have this idea in my head, and then I start sketching. And I'll do like a little sketch, and then I'll start painting. And I just, watercolors are really, they can be kind of finicky, right?
Yeah.
And I used to be really want all this detail. I'm not formally trained, and so it's really just, it is what it is, and it just comes out, and sometimes the water blends or whatever. In my eye, I'll look at it and I'll think, you know what? I like that. I'm just leave it as it is. Or sometimes I do a little too much. I try to fix things and make things too perfect, and then I usually will ruin that painting. So, so I guess it's, again, I'm learning too. I'm really learning too that it is just a process, and my confidence builds as I do it. So that's what I do. I just take a sketch and then I just start painting.
So, changing gears a little bit, this one's a question about your farm. How many horses do you have, and what are their names?
Okay, so right now we have 2 horses. When this book was written, I think we had about 6.
Oh, goodness.
Yep. Oh, goodness is right. So, anyways, we're down to 2. And their names are Nutmeg, and she's sort of the all-around family horse, and I'll introduce everybody to her. And then we have Cornell. And Cornell, it was a baby raised on this farm, and she's now in training, and she's absolutely lovely, and so she's my horse.
How old is she?
She is 5. She's a big horse. She's just turned 5.
Earlier, you mentioned that you have 2 more books that you're working on. Is either of them a continuation of your first book with more stories about the same characters, or are they completely different?
So yes, the second one is, and I hope there'll be a series. I hope this first day will be a series. Is a continuation with Captain and Mary Ellen. So, and then the third one is, I've got 2 daughters, and so I can't focus completely on Mary Ellen. And so I have the third one, the storybook, is with my daughter Caroline. All the horses in the story were the horses that we had when I said we had 6 horses. All of them are the original horses on this farm, and yeah,
Very cool.
so this is a true story.
So, can you give us any hints about what's going to happen in the next book?
I can. So there's lots of lessons, I think, in this first day at Halsey Hollow Farm. It's just the introduction of the 2 meeting and sort of the anxiousness, excitement of meeting. It really does teach you hard work, and it really does teach you confidence. And so that's where the next story goes, where my daughter struggled in school. She had dyslexia, and what we saw was that this pony, he's this little pony, he goes out to this big pasture, and no matter how nervous he was, he had to be brave, and he had to practice, and he had to trot a little faster to keep up with the bigger horses. And he had to believe in himself to get over these obstacles. And so really that is what we worked with Mary Ellen, was that you need to believe in yourself to get over this obstacle. You can do it. And, we're all here for you, but you got to believe in yourself and have that confidence. And so, she did. And she has done beautifully. And I guess I would just say that to every parent out there that just worries that, we say it all the time, but not every single popcorn kernel pops at the same time. And then all of a sudden it just hits, and these kids do it. They do it, and you don't have to worry. Just get them the support they need.
Our final question.
Okay.
What is your favorite part of your job?
My job. Okay, so I'm going to talk about this job, this little thing, because this is my favorite thing right now. There's a lot of favorite parts, and I was really unexpected. There was a lot of trepidation. I was very nervous about doing this. I didn't think if my illustrations were good enough. I didn't know if the writing was good enough. But I have been going out to my mailbox, and I get letters and drawings from the most beautiful kids who thank me or who want to learn more, or come and visit. And to me, that's it's like such an unexpected, it's the biggest gift ever. To me, that's the biggest gift ever. So that's the best part. And then I do kind of lose myself when I'm drawing. Like I'll start painting, and then I'm kind of lost in it, and I can't, so I really enjoy that.
All right, well, thank you for watching this today. I hope you guys learned something and had a good time. And if you want to come and visit these horses for yourself, you can just get a hold of Annie and set up a time to do that. We'll see you soon.
Keep reading. Okay, first day at Halsey Hollow Farm by Anne Levitt. This story is dedicated to Kirk, Mary Ellen, and Caroline, to our horses past and present, and to all young readers. About this book. Halsey Hollow Farm is a real farm located in upstate New York. It is a place that is full of love and provides a perfect backdrop for this story. The first in a series of adventures for Mary Ellen and Captain. Friendship is a powerful confidence builder, especially when it links a person with an animal. It may come from a dog who gently places her head on a resting human, the cat who snuggles on a lap to keep frail bones warm, or a feisty pony who teaches confidence to his rider. Sharing is the start of many human friendships, and reading out loud to children is one of the greatest gifts. My hope is that as you share this story with your children, we all grow in confidence together. Captain's ears pricked and his nose flared. Today was his first day at Halsey Hollow Farm. He wanted to learn everything he could about his new home. The trailer ride was noisy and bumpy. Passengers waved as they passed by in their cars. He nickered at the children when they pointed their fingers at him, revealing dreams of owning a horse of their own. Today was his day. He was getting his very own kid. This was as big a dream for a pony as for any little cowboy or cowgirl. The trailer door dropped and Captain was led down the ramp. He let out a loud whinny, announcing his arrival. Walking through the barn, Captain paid careful attention to everything around him. He was nervous, but did not want any of the other horses to know. A great big horse named Kodiak greeted Captain curiously. Kodiak had never seen such a little horse. The very tips of Captain's ears only touched Kodiak's chest. Yet this little pony had a very big image of himself. He thought, he is big, but I am bigger. And that is a typical pony. Next to Kodiak was a pretty mare. She was gray with dapples from head to hoof, flashy and very noisy. Captain quickly figured out the high-pitched whinny he heard when the trailer arrived belonged to her. Her name was Snow Day. That's a nice name, he thought, but with her personality, she should be called Scattered Flurries. Down the barn aisle, he saw an older horse who was calm, elegant, and the barn leader. Crown Emerald was the name etched into her stall plate. Her name arched proudly as she sniffed his nose. She blew warm air into Captain's nostril. Her message was loud and clear. Do as I say, respect me, and follow the rules. Call me Maud. You have a lot to learn and to teach now that you have an owner of your own. Captain knew with Maud as the leader, life on the farm would be predictable and safe. Captain was led into his stall. It had pine sawdust on the floor, hay in the corner, and a blue water bucket filled to the rim. On the door hung a shiny red ribbon with a small tag dangling down. Captain sniffed the apple red ribbon. It sure doesn't smell as sweet as an apple, he thought. On the tag, printed in neat black lettering, was the name Mary Ellen. Mary Ellen? That is not my name. I'm a boy. He began to get even more nervous. I'm a boy. My name can't be Mary Ellen. Just then, Maud craned her neck over the stall. What is all the fuss about? Mary Ellen is not your name. Settle down. Mary Ellen is your new human. You will need to be calm if you plan on training her to be a good rider and horse person. Captain shook his head and sneezed. Phew! What a relief! My name is not going to be changed to a filly's. At that moment, Captain understood something even more important. He realized he was considered to be safe, smart, and balanced enough to have his own rider. It meant he had a responsibility to share the wonders of good horsemanship with Mary Ellen. Life on the farm looked good. Mary Ellen was so excited. She came bounding towards the barn, skipping and running. Her voice was loud with enthusiasm. She wanted to run to that pony, throw her arms around him, and give him a gigantic hug. But at the barn door, she saw Maud looking down the aisle. Mary Ellen loved Maud. She'd tell everyone, "Maud's known me since I was a baby. She is happiest when I am not hopping and skipping around the barn. And she really hates temper tantrums. But when you're quiet, Maud's nose rubs right up against your hair." Mary Ellen stopped dead in her tracks, fingered the carrots in her pocket, and walked to her new pony's stall. With all the control she could gather, she nervously said, "Hello, Captain. Oh, you are so cute." She reached out her hand to hold Captain's halter and then held the carrot out to him. Captain took it with the same enthusiasm Mary Ellen had shown earlier. Feeling bold, he tried to push around for another carrot, all the while grumbling, "I'm not cute. I'm really more of a hunk." Maud stomped her hoof. "Gentle. Listen to your new owner. Let her hold you and place her hand on your forehead. She is calm and steady. And now you must be calm and steady in return." So Captain reached his nose out to Mary Ellen's hand, encouraging her to stroke his face. When Captain relaxed his head and his eyes softened, Mary Ellen's mom let her go into the stall. Together, they talked to the pony, running their hands smoothly down his neck. Captain liked this. He stood still, teaching his new rider that communication and trust was the foundation of good horsemanship. And all of a sudden, being cute or being something bigger didn't mean as much to him as having a true friend. While Captain nuzzled against Mary Ellen, her mother explained, "You must earn your pony's trust by being calm and predictable. Captain is an animal, and because of this, he will often act before he thinks. If he is startled, he will want to run, much like you when you are scared. If you spoil him with too many treats, he may bite. You too will learn to be patient, to work hard, to be brave, and to be kind. Captain will teach you, and you will teach him." And in a very special moment, Mary Ellen leaned her face against Captain's cheek. With a soft voice, she whispered, "Captain, we are going to be best friends." He dropped his head to feel her warm words in his ear. Then he wrapped his head and neck around her in a hug, smelling the carrot that remained tucked in her pocket. And so began the first of many happy days at Halsey Hollow Farm. And that's it, the end.